Hey, so it's been a while since we talked about this guy. Let's actually do that for once. Oh. Hello everyone, my name is Kira Creates, aka I'm wearing the same 5 shirts every video, but at least sometimes my jacket changes. And welcome back to another video where I finally talk about the Mark 42 after over a year, because I don't talk about him for some reason. I need to get this thing off. Ugh. That's annoying. Yeah, what do you think of my Iron Man 2 2010 helmet that my buddy Ryder CGA gave me? I had one of these as a kid, but it's lost to time. I don't know what happened to it. That's right, today we're gonna be talking about the Mark 42, which I haven't made a video on in well over a year, since like March maybe of last year. I don't know when that video came out. But yeah, he has gone through a lot of changes, as you can clearly see, and if you've been watching my videos, then you've seen it over the course of those videos. But if you haven't been watching these videos, well then what are you doing? Hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell for all my uploads if you like cool Iron Man stuff, cool cosplay stuff, reviews, Spider-Man, whatever. I've been obsessed with Iron Man for the past 2 years, so it's like, whatever. It's too warm for this jacket. Screw it, we're just gonna deal with it. But yeah, anyway, self-promo aside, within the first couple minutes of the video. So, I'm not gonna be talking about the battle damage that you see today. I'm actually making a separate battle damage tutorial, which you'll see sometime after this video, so stay tuned for that. That's another reason to subscribe, because only like, what, like 10% or less of you guys are subscribed that watch my videos? So like, come on. But yeah, ever since KatsuCon of 2024, this guy has gone through a lot of changes, and I did film a video about it, but I lost the footage. I think I deleted it before it made it over to my PC. So, yeah, this is not the first time I've done it. Certainly not going to be the last. And for the battle damage video, I did the same thing. But yeah, flashback to KatsuCon 2024. I debuted this guy at that con with Saturday morning props. And I also got frankly built to see it, so that was cool. But it was flooded with problems, which I ended up fixing pretty much all of them. So first of all, the paint job. Yes, I said in the video I wanted to leave a lot of the paint job the way it was, just because it showed like my progress and stuff like that. But there were some things on it that bugged me so much, I just couldn't leave it like that. So after that con, I actually sanded down and repainted the entire chest, because there was like paint particulates in there. It was like a bunch of black spots. I'm gonna show a photo up. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but they were there. It was just a mess. There was red reactions because of metal casts. I've tried to hand paint, that didn't go well. So, I ended up just repainting the entire chest, and thank God I did, because God, it came out so much cleaner. And as you've seen through it, you've also noticed I've added a bunch of metallic gold accents around it. So I rewatched Iron Man 3 right before I finished it for KatsuCon, and that's when I remembered that, oh my God, the Mark 42 actually does have metallic gold on it. It's just accented throughout different spots of the suit. So I went ahead, studied the entire suit, found every single spot that there was metallic gold parts, and I just repainted all those parts. I just sprayed it on top of the existing paint, and it turned out fine. Clear coated with 2K, boom, it was done. The only parts I didn't get to do that on is like these like square sections in the abs, which you can't really see because like they just kind of sit underneath the chest anyway, so that's whatever. I didn't care too much. I only didn't paint those because I have my vinyl paint protector on them, and if I rip that off, which I have done, it has a high likelihood of ripping off the clear coat with it because it adheres so well. So I didn't even bother with that. It's fine, nobody cares, nobody notices. They just see Iron Man, oh my God, it's cool, who cares? But yeah, I repainted that, I repainted the chest. What else did I do that didn't work? The arms. So Saturday morning props can probably already attest to how badly that went. He had to end up gluing me into the forearms because the top of the forearms were just magnetized. There was nothing else holding them down, so they kept popping off, and at one point one of them actually popped off onto the con floor. Luckily it didn't break, but we ended up going back to my hotel room and just glued me into the forearm. So thank God for him and helping me out, just surviving in that thing. So the arms were made by night plates, and I think what happened is that they were too small for me. So they kept like squeezing against my forearm, and then they kept popping them out. So I ended up just replacing the forearms entirely, and because my entire suit is by Johan 3D Printmaster, well, the files, I ended up just using his arm files just so that way everything matched up, and I was able to scale things just to fit me, because I wasn't gonna be making the motorized rocket arms. Sorry guys. So I printed those out, painted them. It only took me like 2 weeks to do both arms. Again, I work 40 hours a week, so I'm not doing this full time, so that's why it takes so long for me to do things. But yeah, I printed those and everything went well, and I ended up replacing the hand guards because the hand guards were just held on by rubber bands. Yeah, it was not going well. I ended up replacing the hand guards with Levy 3D's hand guards because he made a whole Mark 42 suit, and he also released the gauntlets by themselves along with gloves. So I ended up just using the hand guards from those, and they have been working so much better because they use a printed hinge that once you print it, you just want to like constantly move up and down to free it up. And then I have it attached to the forearms via a strap, so that way whenever I put my hand up, it just moves like it should, and when I put my hand down, the strap holds the back part of the arm here. I don't know how well you can see it here, but yeah, so my arm would go up like that to do a repulsor, and then when it would go down, the tension from the strap would put the back of the hand guard back in place. That's kind of my solution to that because it would just stay up if I didn't do that. So it works very well, and I'm able to put on the full arm with the glove attached all in one piece, which is also pretty cool. So yeah, I replaced the entire arms. What else did I do? I did make a few small adjustments to how I mounted up the chest. So how I originally mounted it up, it was not good. I just had a piece of Velcro like sitting across this, like not underneath, like holding it like straps or whatever. No, there was Velcro just on the side here. Not underneath, just here where these two parts meet. So that kept popping off. I had tiny little magnets holding in the sides of my chest. Those kept popping out. And I'm not just talking about like the chest popping out completely. The magnets kept coming off. So I ended up replacing that entire system. Now coming from the back, there's some modified plentiful props joints that I just use as like little tabs. And I put Velcro on those. So that way now the chest can just kind of pop on like this and it holds a lot better. And on the sides here, I use bigger bar magnets I was using on the Mark 40, which if you don't know, I built another Iron Man suit, which I have a whole video series on, so you should check that out too. That's pretty cool. I used some bigger bar magnets for that to have a stronger magnetic pull, and I use Plentiful Props as magnet mounts for those as well. And then I use Velcro in my armpits, so that way it would stay in place because magnets, they can pop out easily. So Velcro keeps everything locked in. So I did all that and it's been working fine. And the knee joints, oh, the knee joints. So I use Plentiful Props as double jointed hinge for both this and the Mark 40, or both in the knees, and it works great when I take out the double hinge. So what happened, the double hinge kept causing the knees to overlap because like the knees are like in two separate parts. One part's on the shin, one part is on the thigh. It kept causing the thigh one to overlap on top of the shin. I hated it. So I just converted it into a single hinge system. So now it doesn't overlap and everything stays in perfect place. But yeah, other than that, I don't think I modified it very much compared to like everything else. So like, yeah, the neck is the same. The leg mounting system is the same. The harnessing for the abs are the same. Everything here is basically the same as compared to when you guys first saw it, other than the battle damage. But again, that's another video in itself. But yeah, there's a lot of issues with the suit. That will happen probably, more than likely, if you build your first Iron Man suit or cosplay armor in general. The best way to test run it is trial by fire. Like sometimes you do have to run before you can walk. So the only way I was able to find out that my suit had so many issues was by running it through a con, seeing how long it would last, and seeing what was failing. And thank goodness the suit ended up generally holding up through Katsu Con. But after that con, I made all those improvements all the way up until Otakon of that year, which is where I pretty much had most of my modifications finished. I still had the same tiny magnets because like they weren't giving me too many issues at the time. I just added Velcro, but it did survive Otakon pretty well. I only got 4 hours out of it because I didn't pad the shoulders correctly, which that's another thing I had to do. And you should definitely do in any armor that you build. Make sure that you pad it properly. And you can't go overboard on padding. Well, you kind of can, because then things don't fit quite right if you do too much, but like you could do a healthy amount and be fine. And honestly, the more comfort you get, the longer you can wear your suit, because oh my God, do these things get painful. I don't have very strong shoulders, so before I padded the crap out of it, I got like 4 hours out of this thing at max. I probably got less of that at Otakon because I had a leg infection going at the time, so it's like I was in serious pain from the get-go. Katsucon, I think I got a combined 5 hours out of it because I was in it for like 2 or 3 hours, went back to my hotel room for almost an hour because I was in pain and I needed to take a rest, and then I got back into it for 5 to 6 o'clock for my photo shoot with Brian Cox. So yeah, that was a whole fun thing. But Cosplay World, I didn't really change anything. After Cosplay World, that is also when I patted the absolute crap out of my shoulders because I wanted to try and wear this thing longer than 4 hours. And Katsucon, I got an hour 5. I still felt all right. Like the pain stopped progressing after hour 3 and just remained the same. So I was like, okay, cool, I can get some more time out of this. So then we changed out at Katsucon, found out I could go longer, and then I hot glued those in. So then I fixed it up. I battle damaged just for C2E2, which at the time of recording, C2E2 happened the weekend, but after I recorded this, so this is post C2E2. But yeah, I fixed all those issues, and with all of those fixes, I got 9 hours out of this suit at C2E2. That's pretty wild. But the fact I'm able to go 9 hours in this thing and survive, I was still in a lot of pain, but 9 hours is ridiculous. But yeah, I think I got the final form ready. But yeah, I think that just went to prove that I did everything I could to make it comfortable, to make it functional, and to work. The only things that I would go back and do differently is probably try and scale the legs a little shorter, just because they kind of ride up on me, and because of that, even though I'm using 3-inch platform shoes on this thing, it still like has very limited mobility. Like I cannot put my leg up as much as I can in the Mark 40, which I did scale the legs to my legs for that. So yeah, that was just kind of an update video on the Mark 42. I hope you guys found, I don't know, some sort of enjoyment or learned something if you were interested in the Mark 42 for some reason or whatever. And I hope you enjoyed the video clips I sprinkled out throughout here. So many amazing photographers I've gotten to work with and cinematographers. Just so many talented people in this community. And I just love to showcase their work because they deserve all the recognition in the world. Because us cosplayers and photographers have a symbiotic relationship because it's kind of a two-way street where like they don't have content without our cosplays, and us cosplayers don't have high quality, super good content without their photos and without their videos. So it's like, it's a very beautiful symbiotic relationship, and photographers and cinematographers that go to cons, stuff like that, they deserve so much credit for helping us look so good in photos and helping us out. So it's like, so make sure to follow everybody that I have tagged in those video clips because they're all awesome people. Man, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed that or learned something about the Mark 42. Like I said, I have a battle damage video coming out very soon about how I made this guy look all crusty and stuff like that, as the Mark 42 should. And just make sure you subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed it, turn on the bell notification to get notified of all my new uploads. And if you want more content, make sure to follow me on Instagram, Kira Creates Cosplay. All that will be linked down below, as well as my TikTok if I upload there sometimes, and as well as like whatever else I have down there. So yeah, make sure to check that out. Check out my sponsor links down below to help support the channel. Use my discount codes at Dio3D and Print Costumes, and like use my affiliate links as well for Filament, for Polymaker, because they're all awesome companies I've gotten the pleasure to work with, and they make incredible products. I'm so happy to work with everybody. Make sure to follow everybody, make sure to follow me and all that stuff, and I think that's pretty much it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, where I update you on how I beat the Mark 42 like my... Okay, you know what? That joke's too dark for YouTube. I'll see you later.